Hello, my little dreamers, and welcome back to Dreamland. Have you ever entered a place that sparked joy in your heart or seen something so magical that left you speechless? If you're nodding your head eagerly, then let me take you on a whimsical adventure today. Our tale begins in a place much like our own, yet filled with a touch of magic. It was a quaint town nestled between rolling hills and sparkling waters, a place where life moved at the pace of a gentle breeze. Here, nestled amongst the cozy cottages and lively streets, lived a young girl named Amira. She was a child of about 10 years old, her laughter echoing through the town like the tinkling of bells. But what made Amira truly special wasn't just her infectious giggle, it was her boundless love for stories. You see, Amira had a deep connection to books. Every evening as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the town, she would snuggle up in her favorite armchair with a captivating tale. Her imagination soared as she journeyed to far-off lands, met fantastical creatures, and learned valuable life lessons. But here's a twist. Amira had read almost every book in her school library and the town library. The adventures between those pages had become her closest friends. Yet she yearned for more, for a story that hadn't yet been written, for an adventure that was uniquely hers. One fine afternoon, driven by her insatiable curiosity, Amira decided to explore beyond the familiar streets of her town. She hopped onto her bicycle and ventured towards the whispering woods at the edge of town. As she pedaled along, the trees formed a tunnel overhead, their leaves rustling secrets in the wind. Suddenly, she noticed something unusual, a wooden sign half hidden by a curtain of vines. The sign was old and weathered, yet its words were clear. The invisible library only for the truly curious. Intrigued, Amira followed the direction indicated by the sign, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she journeyed deeper into the woods, the trees seemed to part, revealing a clearing bathed in a warm, inviting glow. There in the center stood a treehouse that shimmered like a mirage. Its windows sparkled like 1,000 stars, beckoning her closer. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, Amira dismounted her bike and walked towards the treehouse. She reached out, her fingers tracing the intricate carvings on the door before she gently pushed it open. Inside, the most peculiar sight awaited her. There were shelves and shelves of books, yet they weren't filled with words or pictures. They were empty, devoid of any visible content. The room was silent, the only sound Amira's own heartbeat echoing in her ears. As she turned to leave, puzzled and a bit disappointed, a soft whisper echoed through the room. Books appear to those who believe. These words hung in the air, challenging her disbelief. Amira paused, her mind racing. Did the library want her to believe in something? Believe in stories, perhaps. She closed her eyes, thinking of the countless tales she'd read. Then she whispered, "I believe in stories. I believe in magic." As soon as she uttered those words, the whisper replied, "So be it." In an instant, the empty shelves transformed. The books shimmered into existence, each cover glowing with an ethereal light. Amira gasped. It was as if the library itself was coming alive. Hesitantly, she reached out and touched one of the covers. It felt real, tangible. With trembling hands, she opened the book. Inside, the pages were filled with words that seemed to dance before her eyes. As she began to read, The story unfolded like a tapestry woven with magic and wonder. It was a tale unlike any she'd read before. Amira spent hours in that enchanted space, reading books that whispered secrets of the universe, sang songs of distant galaxies, and painted pictures of worlds where dreams took flight. Each book was a portal to a different realm, each page a step into the unknown. There were books about talking animals who solved mysteries, planets made of chocolate, and even a guide to befriending unicorns. But amidst these fantastical tales, Amira noticed something peculiar. There was one book that remained shrouded in darkness, untouched by the light. It was locked in a golden cage, its title barely visible. The Book of Forgotten Heroes. Curiosity tugged at her, but when she tried to approach, a melodious yet firm voice echoed through the library. Only those who complete the paths of kindness, bravery, and curiosity shall open the forgotten heroes. These words resonated within Amara, stirring a sense of purpose. The library challenged her, not just to be a passive reader, but to be an active participant in the stories she cherished. This wasn't just a test of her beliefs. It was a call to action. So the next morning, armed with the library's cryptic instructions and a heart full of determination, Amara set out on her journey. Her first task was to find a lost dog that had been wandering the nearby village. Guided by her compassion, she located the canine, its tail tucked between its legs, shivering in the corner. With gentle words and soothing touch, Amara coaxed the dog out and led it back to its grateful owner. The feeling of helping another being filled her with warmth, a sensation that echoed the joy of a story with a happy ending. Next, her path led her to the town square where a group of children were teasing a younger student. Fearful and alone, the smaller child stood with tears brimming in his eyes. Remembering her own love for stories, Amara stepped forward. With a combination of empathy and courage, she stopped the taunts, offering the scared child not just words of comfort, but also an invitation to join her and her friends. For Amara understood that true stories were about more than just adventures. They were about friendship, empathy, and the power of standing up for what's right. Finally, Amara returned to the treehouse, her last task still pending. But as she approached, she realized that her experience at the invisible library had already been a journey of curiosity. She had discovered a part of herself that she didn't know existed, a self that was empathetic, brave, and unafraid to stand up for what she believed in. With this newfound understanding, she knew that the final piece of her journey was to share what she had learned. And so Amara spent the next few days visiting her friends and neighbors, sharing stories of kindness, bravery, and curiosity that she had encountered on her journey. Each story sparked a new idea, a new way of looking at the world. In doing this, Amara realized that stories don't just entertain. They educate, inspire, and unite. They have the power to change hearts and minds, to ignite imaginations, and to pave the way for a better world. When she finally returned to the invisible library, the golden cage lay open, inviting her to approach. Inside the book, she saw her own reflection staring back at her. And as she turned the first page, the words danced before her eyes, welcoming her to the Book of Forgotten Heroes. It wasn't just a book. It was a testament to all the children out there who were showing everyday heroism through small acts of kindness, bravery and curiosity. It was a celebration of their potential to make the world a better place. The invisible library had taught Amara more than just the power of believing in stories. It had shown her the power of being a part of a story. Each act of kindness, each display of courage, each moment of curiosity, no matter how small, contributed to a greater narrative. And she, along with every other child who showed these qualities, was a hero in the making. From that day on, Amara continued to seek out stories, not just in books, but in the everyday occurrences of life. She encouraged others to believe in stories, to be part of stories, and to create their own stories. Because Amara knew that every act of kindness, every display of bravery, and every moment of curiosity was a page waiting to be written in the grand book of their lives. And now it's your turn, dear dreamers. What would you do if you found a magical library like this one? How would you complete your own journey of kindness, bravery, and curiosity? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That brings us to the end of today's enchanting tale. If you enjoyed this whimsical journey with Amara, don't forget to give us a like. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our magical adventures. Until next time, keep believing in stories. Keep looking for adventures. Have you come across any strange situation that you would like us to make the focus of our next story? Answer us in your comments.